Hi. Okay, there's some new news here for Medicare people. So the good news, you're getting new cards. Some of you, your cards are paper. Some of you have had your cards for 30, maybe even 40 years, and looks like it may have been run through the washer a couple of times. Um, and it's finally going to get replaced. You are going to get a new Medicare card. It is going to begin in April 2018. They are going to begin mailing cards out. That is from the time of this recording next month. And they will be mailing cards out until everyone has it, which will be April 2019. I can't tell. I don't seem to have any information as to whether or not it is going to be a paper card or a plastic card. If it is a paper card, you can laminate it. Feel free to laminate it. It's the Social Security cards that they recommend you do not laminate, but you are free to laminate a paper Medicare card. There's a reason for the Social Security cards not being laminated, but at least at the moment that does not apply to Medicare cards. However, the reason that your Medicare card is being replaced, they are taking the step of removing people's Social Security numbers as their Medicare numbers, and they are going to be randomizing it. What that means to you, now not everybody has a Social Security number. Some of you may have the Medicare number on you of a spouse or an ex-spouse, excuse me, or a deceased spouse. Others may have a different number on it, especially like if you were working for the railroad, you don't have your Medicare number on your card most likely. However, the majority of people, their Medicare number is their own Social Security card with a letter after it. And the letter generally conforms to how you are collecting Social Security, or under whose Social Security you are actually drawing your Social Security income from. But that's going to change, and it is going to be randomized. What that means to you, aside from the fact that make sure you watch your mail for your new Medicare card, is that you are going to have to learn a new number. So keep this one in mind. You are also going to have to make sure your doctors have this new number as well. Now, there is going to be a transition period going on. Let me make sure I get this right. The transition period is going to be 21 months between April 2018 and December 2019. To make sure that you get your information out to whomever you need to get it out to. So, excuse me, that's very important. So if you can, just make sure like every doctor that you see gets a new copy of your Medicare card. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, that won't be the case, because your Medicare Advantage plan, you don't give them your Medicare card in the first place. But if you've got Medicare and Medicare is primary and something else is secondary, like a supplement or some cases work insurance, or if Medicare is secondary, if basically the doctor's office or the hospital's office or any other medical provider needs to bill Medicare, make sure that they have your new number. Now, Medicare has got some things, some processes in place to make sure that if they, beginning April 2018, if they file claims with Medicare using the old numbers, that they get informed to either get the new numbers or they get the new numbers. I'm not sure which way that's going to go. My info doesn't say it. But you're going to want to make sure that info gets there. I believe that nothing's here, but I believe there's going to be processes set up to make sure that the insurance companies actually get it. So like all my clients that have Medicare supplements, I don't know for certain, but I don't believe I'm going to be required to get new Medicare numbers from all my clients to get them to the insurance companies. I think Medicare is going to provide that directly for privacy purposes. But that is going to be something that we're going to kind of find out the answer to. Now, the other thing that's important here is because everybody is getting a new Medicare number, make sure you keep that number private, because it's not going to be your Social Security number, and these are going to be made private for a reason. So here's a few things to be aware of. First of all, no government official is going to call you asking you for your new Medicare number. So be aware of that, first of all. So if you get a phone call from somebody from CMS, or excuse me, that's wrong. If you get a call from somebody claiming to be from CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or Social Security, and they say to you that they need your Medicare number for verification, that's not right. No, the government is not going to ask you for your personal information over the phone. Now, if you call them, that's a different story. They're going to require your information so that they know who you are, but they're not going to call you asking you for that information. When in doubt, go to a local Social Security office and ask, or call back. But I mean, be aware of that. They're not going to call you. The next thing to be aware of is, I'm reasonably certain your insurance company is not going to call you just asking you for that information either. Now, I'm not 100% on that, but I am reasonably certain your insurance company is going to be given the transitional information direct from Medicare, and you're not going to need to do anything about that. Now, if I'm wrong, this video is going to be updated accordingly and appropriately, but I'm pretty certain that you're not going to get calls from your insurance companies. You're also not going to get calls from me asking you for your Medicare number without a specific reason. The only reason I would do that is if I'm changing your insurance at your request. So, I mean, if it's a reasonable time, if it's a logical progression where we're trying to actually move your insurance and we actually need that identifiable information to get you covered, then yes, we're going to ask for it because we are obviously not going to have it. We don't keep that information. But if you just get a call from someone saying they're your insurance agent and they need your new Medicare number to update your records, I can't speak for other insurance agents, although I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for a number of us. We don't want that information just because. So we are not going to call you and just ask you for your new Medicare information just because. So be aware of that, try to keep it private. There are going to be times when it is going to be necessary for you to give your new Medicare card info out to other people. But for the most part, you're not going to have to give that information out to most people. So be aware of that. Exercise a little bit of judgment. Make sure if it's somebody asking for your information, is the request logical, and is the request from somebody you know or somebody you trust, or is it a stranger saying that they represent so and so and they need your Medicare information to check their records for something? That's not legit. So be aware of that. That is really it. The other thing, if you have alternative payment methods to Medicare, such as a Medicare Advantage plan, that should not change your Medicare Advantage plan information at all for the remainder of the year. If you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, you do not give your Medicare card anyway to doctors or hospitals or other providers for the payment of services, because the Medicare Advantage plan is taking care of that. You should not need to go through any other changes. Anything else, we're going to take this info as it comes up, but I just kind of wanted you all to know you are getting a new card. It doesn't matter if you're 65, if you're under 40, and you have Medicare early due to a disability, or if you're in your 90s, or even you're a centennial. Congratulations, first of all, especially if you're watching this video. You are all getting new Medicare cards. It's starting next month, April 2018. It's going through April 2019. So if you don't get your card the first month, don't panic. It is coming, and when it does come, you're going to put your old one away. You're going to start carrying this one around in your wallet, and protect it. Make sure it doesn't go through the wash this time.